Okay, folks, it's 4:30, so we will officially call to order the 2020 AGM for the Tett Center for Creativity and Learning. First of all, Madam Deputy Clerk, do we have a quorum?
Yes, Mayor Patterson, we have quorum.
Okay, are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask for an approval of the agenda, please. I have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Deputy Mayor Neal, seconded by Doherty. All those in favor? Opposed? And that's carried. Next, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the 2019 AGM for the Tett Center for Creativity and Learning. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor Hutchison. All those in favor? Opposed? And that's carried. Okay, so that takes us to number 6. We have a presentation, and so we'll welcome Jan Allen, the chair of the board, to present. Ms. Allen, nice to see you, and you have the floor. I think you're on mute, Jan.
How's that?
Perfect.
Yes, okay. So thank you for this opportunity to speak to our members, the City Council and Mayor. When the Tett Center for Creativity celebrated its 5th anniversary in January of 2020, it was a vibrant art center hitting its stride with thriving programs, stable tenancy, and sturdy financial underpinnings based on its role as a dynamic and high demand community service in a beautiful city-owned heritage building. A few months later, the COVID-19 pandemic brought shutdown orders, and it's a well-known story. I'm sure you're hearing it from everyone. It introduced really dramatic constraints to all hands-on arts programs and classes. And we've had really experienced for the past year a great deal of uncertainty as we've opened and closed and responded to evolving situations. It's forced us to think and act in new ways to meet our responsibilities, and beyond that, to continue to fulfill our mandate to the community here as an inspiring space and a welcoming home for diverse makers and creators. The 2020 annual report, which I'm sure you've all read with interest, reflects our success in navigating this challenging year. It's been a testament really to the imagination, determination, and resilience of the Tett, its staff, the subtenants, and the wider community of support in the City of Kingston. With the crucial help of government programs, we finished 2020 with robust organizational health, financial stability, and operating integrity as an accessible and responsive engine of creative life in the city. On behalf of the board, I need to thank the City of Kingston for entrusting the operation of the Tett Center to this organization. And I gratefully acknowledge the key roles that are played by city staff for their collaboration and guidance, notably Colin Wigginton, Director of Arts and Culture, Kathy Gray, Property Specialist, Real Estate and Environmental Initiatives, and Theryl Peterson, the Manager of Facilities for Facility Management and Construction Services. And there are, of course, many others who have helped us throughout the year. I thank the Tett Center staff under the awesome leadership of our director, Nadine Baker, for their tireless commitment and enthusiasm. It's been a tough year morale-wise for everyone, and they have really kept momentum going, which has been so impressive. I thank the creative community that makes its home at the Tett Center for their tenacity and inspiring work to share and advance the arts in the city. And I'm endlessly grateful, of course, to the board members, each of whom so generously contributes their time and insights to this forward-thinking body. I extend my deep appreciation to outgoing past chair David Kerr for his extraordinary dedication to the success of the Tett, and also to interim chair Sophie Koala, who so gracefully managed a crucial transition period in the middle of 2020. It's been an extraordinary year by any measure. I now want to invite Tett Center Director Nadine Baker to share the slide presentation with you. And I'm happy, of course, to answer any questions.
Good afternoon, councillors and Mayor Patterson. I have the privilege of providing a summary of our operations and activities of 2020. The recent photo here that you're looking at is a perfect image, I think, to represent our successful year in the face of the unexpected challenges, as Jan just described, and experienced by many in our community. Next slide, please. Here's a refresher of our vision to connect connect people and communities through the arts, and our mission to be a welcoming destination for the community to come together to explore, create, and be inspired. We are happy to report that despite the pandemic, we achieved our main objectives again this year to operate our heritage building as a vibrant arts hub, to activate the arts hub with programming in public rental spaces, and to be financially sustainable. Next slide, please. We are very fortunate to have a wonderful mix of passionate individuals and organizations contributing to our accomplishments this past year. And to start, 2020 was our first full year of board of directors comprised of all community members. On the right, you'll see some specializations there and the variety of backgrounds which help provide a balance of expertise and input for governance of our charitable organization. Next slide, please. The Tett Center Board of Directors has 4 standing committees on which I sit as director, and these committees regularly meet to support all aspects of operations, which was especially important as we navigated business this past year. Our dedicated staff listed on the left worked hard in 2020 to enact programs and rental plans and help keep our buildings safe and COVID-19 free, and seamlessly move through closures and openings and closures again. And this year, on the right there, you'll see that it was the first fiscal year with City Council as our 1 member. Next slide, please. Here's a reminder of the wealth of artistic talent and the extraordinary variety of arts disciplines found within the Tett Center. These organizations continue to inspire, educate, and add incredible value to the arts and culture sector in Kingston and to the community. You'll see in our annual report some wonderful details of each anchor subtenant's successes in 2020. Next slide, please. Lastly, but no less vital to the mix, are our creativity studio artists on the middle floor, a group of professional artists and entrepreneurs who are innovative and enthusiastic, and a wonderful resource for the public to learn and appreciate the arts. The variety of arts practices are highlighted there. And you'll see there are quite a few. Next slide, please. Our Arts Hub engaged the public in the arts throughout the year. When we opened, we had an excellent attendance from all over Kingston to our well-loved regular programming. I put some numbers there, and they're always popular. Our Kids Creativity Club, our Tett Tuesday drop-in program and series for adults, and of course, our community engagement provided by our creativity studios. With the onset of COVID-19, we quickly adapted and created arts programming, including virtual offerings, local artist interviews for Instagram and our Tett blog, and we hosted some outdoor summer pop-ups that were quite popular that not only showcased our Tett subtenants, but also employed our teaching artist roster of working artists. For Family Day in February of 2020, we had our highest attendance to date. That was just before the pandemic, with 1,900 visitors ranging from students to seniors, and of course, many Kingston families who had the chance to enjoy hands-on activities and even see a dance show. The Tett Center continues to partner with local organizations. I've highlighted a few here to demonstrate our broad impact on and for the community. These are events that were for the public, and there was an award-winning video series that we collaborated with the Isabel on that was quite incredible. Next slide, please. I'm extremely proud of the Tett staff and our resident organizations and artists who showed remarkable resiliency in 2020. As Jan mentioned, it was just a really quite impressive how everybody just navigated the roller coaster that we all went through. And here's how we made it through the beginning of the pandemic and then through 5 months of closure. We managed the health and safety protocols of COVID-19 with a very close relationship with the public health unit and the City of Kingston. We adapted our spaces to safely welcome the public. We created new programs to enhance community participation and interest interest in the arts from their home. We continued well-loved regular programming virtually, which was a learning curve, and we're still learning. We supported subtenants with SECRA rent relief for 6 months, a value of over $51,000. We communicated regularly with subtenants, local organizations, and I was in touch with other cultural hubs in Canada. And we assisted subtenants with the safe presentation of theater shows and revenue generating events during the months we were open. That is crucial for all their businesses. Next slide, please. As an overall summary of operations in 2020, pre and post-COVID, here are some key achievements that are worth mentioning. The Tett Center celebrated its 5th birthday in January 2020, and we have since turned 6, which is just incredible. The Juniper Cafe was able to operate, and subtenant members continued to have access despite our mandated closures to the general public. We had an increase in collaborations within the Tett Center, and we provided more support for community organizations. There was a high attendance to shows and sales with no significant decrease in subtenant memberships, which was really a clear indication of community comfort with our handling of COVID-19. And together with the board of directors, we launched an inaugural Ann or donor appeal that was very successful. Next slide, please. Our persistence to overcome the financial obstacles associated with COVID-19 resulted in a surplus of $25,750. We pursued funding and made significant efforts to retain rentals and support our internal community with rent relief, as I mentioned previously. We acquired a total of $117,195 in federal pandemic relief. We had some grants that we received, and we also had a significant gain in private and corporate donations. And we achieved $190,610 in revenue from TCCL programming and all rental spaces, including our subtenants and venue rentals, when we were able to have those rentals. Our municipal contribution is always very appreciated. In 2020, support for the Tett Center was broken down by the funding, and you'll see there that it's for facility services like waste removal and snow removal. There's a portion of $19,800 for capital reserve funds retained by the city to maintain the J.K. Tett Heritage Building. And then we had a subsidy, a municipal contribution of $58,850 that supported operations of the TCCL related to our agreement to continue our work and services as Kingston's arts hub. Next slide, please. So here is what is on the horizon for the Tett Center for Creativity and Learning, and has been since we changed years, 2021. We are embarking on a new strategic plan to launch in early 2022. We're continuing to navigate COVID-19 restrictions that impact operations and revenue generation. We are leading the way in working together with other community organizations for cross-audience engagement. We are creating innovative programming with a focus on principles for equity, diversity, and inclusion. We are pursuing funding from a variety of sources to support operations and collaborative projects. We are upgrading our spaces with new technology and equipment to meet community needs. And we are actively tracking our current budget because the pandemic continues, the impact of the pandemic continues to affect our regular business. Next slide, please. I'll close with this lovely image here of our location from winter of this year. We thank you, our member, and the City of Kingston's Arts and Culture Services and the community for your support. And we hope very soon to be able to welcome everyone again. We're still closed to the public right now, but we hopefully will be open in stage 3. So thank you very much.
That's great. Thank you very much, Jan and Nadine, for that presentation. Are there any questions from council? Yes, Councillor Doherty.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for the presentation and congratulations. That's quite the feat, surviving through COVID, especially for the art industry. We've certainly been worried about our artists and their survival through this challenging time. I wonder if you could share with us maybe that COVID has been an interesting experience, and we all know the negative impacts, but were there some positive lessons learned or some things that you may do differently moving forward because of your COVID experience?
I'll answer that. Thank you for that question. Yeah, it has been bittersweet, right? The impact of COVID-19 on the arts sector in Kingston. But what's been really fantastic is that there's been, as I said in the annual report, a gelling of different organizations and the artists to really understand that we're better together, you know, and we've really built on that collaborative spirit throughout the pandemic, and it continues actually. We've learned that there's a lot of our business is related to the comfort of the community with being on site, even when we do have lower, you know, we can welcome the public in for an on-site workshop. People have been nervous, you know, so I think that's definitely changing as people are getting vaccinated. And we started to see a real upswing in the fall. And then of course things went a bit sour again in the community, but we, so much depends on people's comfort. And that goes for even within our subtenant organizations, how comfortable they feel in their spaces. And it's not necessarily a reflection of our safety protocols. It's more just people getting out of their houses and being comfortable. So that's certainly positive, and we look forward to being open later this summer, and we'll move on from there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Neal.
Yes. Hello, and thank you, Nadine. I want to thank you, your staff, the board. Am I correct that we were able to keep all of the subtenants, that we haven't lost any through the COVID? That's excellent achievement, all things considered. And having a modest surplus, clearly you and your staff have worked hard with grant applications as well.
Yes.
So I really, really appreciate that, and I'm sure the community does. Thank you. And I was trying to make that into a question for the mayor.
Yeah, no, thank
Okay.
you, Councillor. Thank you.
I'm a little more
Councillor.
relaxed during an AGM, Jim.
Thank you, Councillor Neal. Yes, we did manage to keep all of our main anchor subtenants and also our creativity studio artists. We had full occupancy throughout the year, and we did apply for SECRA on their behalf, on behalf of 9 subtenants. And so they also took advantage of other government programs. So certainly the pandemic relief that was federal and provincial help and different grants helped everybody, which was wonderful. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I don't see any other questions at this point, so I think we'll move on. Again, thank you, Nadine and Jan, for that presentation. So with that, we'll move to number 7, which is the business of the meeting. First, we have a motion to receive the 2020 annual report for the Tett Centre. Can I have a mover and a seconder to receive that? Moved by Councillor Hutchison, seconded by Councillor Kiley. All those in favor? Opposed? And that's carried. Next, we have a motion to approve the audited financial statements for the Tett as approved by the Board of Directors on May the 25th, 2021. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that? Moved by Councillor Hill, seconded by Deputy Mayor Neal. All those in favor? Opposed? And that's carried. Next, we have a motion to appoint MNP as the auditors for the Tett Centre for 2021. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that motion? Moved by Councillor Hutchison, seconded by Councillor Osanek. All those in favor? Opposed? And that's carried. And then we have a motion to confirm the directors and terms of membership of the Tett Centre for 2021. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Doherty, seconded by Councillor Hill. All those in favor? Opposed? And that's carried. And then finally, we have a motion to ratify all the acts, contracts, bylaws, proceedings, appointments, elections, payments enacted, made, done, and taken by the directors and officers of the Tett. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that? Moved by Councillor Hutchison, seconded by Councillor Hill. All those in favor? Opposed? And that's carried. So that's our regular business. Is there any other business? Okay, seeing none, we'll just note that our next meeting will obviously be prior to the end of next June. And with that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn. I have a motion moved by Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor Osanek. All those in favor? Opposed? And we are adjourned. Thank you very much.